Hi there, this is Bobby from Ragged Poet, and I decided to film LenorMarch Days 15 and 16 in the garden. Tomorrow is the autumn equinox here, so it is finally changing the weather. But I'm sitting here by my pond. You can see a little bit of, and everything's still very green. It does stay, the willows they obviously turn and the leaves drop, but they're all very green and lush still at the moment. A couple of weeks and a few good winds and then they'll be gone. But it's clouding over a bit. The sun's still up there, but yeah, lots of long grass here. So you've got a few clouds going on over there. And see what else I can show you that's kind of equinoxy, autumny. There we go. The pears on the pear tree. Not quite ready yet. And we've got apples. I think it's my goats eat the trees, and well, they ring bark them. Here's the apples. Some are not too bad. And they're probably just about, well, we've had some already. There's Oscar flying over there. Hey Oscar. And he's going to get up. Oscar-Rooney. Hey baby. Meow. And there's Moon. I don't know where Gypsy is today. Anyway, I'm going to go back to where my cards are, because today we're talking about the stork and the dog. The stork, well, I think of storks, I just think of like the baby thing, they bring the baby. I've never met a stork in real life. But the cards I've got out to show you, this is from the Indigo Pain LenorMarch by Beth Salonen. It's a very strange stork, and it's got that kind of Grim Reaper shepherd type character in the background. I'm not sure what that's about, unless the stork can mean change and alteration and cycles, and it could mean, I guess, the cycle of life and death as change. I know that's a tarot thing, but I can't think of any other reason why that character's there. And I mean, it could just be a shepherd, but it's got that Grim Reaper look with the hood. So yeah, that's a strange one, that. And then there's the dog in that thing, which I quite like. He looks like a white ghosty dog. And the other stork is from the Yule 7 Stars Natalie Rose LenorMarch deck, and they're on the roof, or they've built a nest on the side of a building, and I think there's 2 storks in that one. Hard to see, it's quite a dark deck. And there's a lovely dog in this one though. I like the dog. He's kind of husky, I think. So yeah, the stork, traditionally I think it means, you can see the duck in the pond maybe. The stork means change, alteration, seasons and cycles, so it's quite appropriate for now with the season changing. Oh, look, there's a duck down there. Can you see him? There she goes. I say him, it's actually a female. Or is it a male? Hard to tell at this time of year. And it's so dark. Well, the water's murky. Yeah, so the stork means alteration, change. So it's cyclical change, like migration, that they do, the birds do, and seasons, things that come round and round again and again and repeated. And the dog means to me, well, a faithful, trusted companion just like it does in the LenorMarch, I guess. I've never really, I have had a couple of dogs, but mainly cats. Dogs you need to be there all the time with. I had a dog called Blue once when I lived on a boat in England. He was really cool. Kept running away though and stealing pies at the local chip shop, and in the end he ran away, and I never got him back. They rehomed him within 24 hours. The people found him, and I went there and they had his collar, but they'd already rehomed him, so I didn't get a chance to claim him back. Poor Blue. He was a Dalmatian cross. He was a nice dog. I quite like big dogs. But in New Zealand, dogs don't tend to be very much pets. A few people do, but mainly they're working dogs, hunting dogs, and most people I know in New Zealand keep their dogs outside, which I don't like that too much. But dog as a companion and a friend, yeah, they're kind of blind really. They're so loyal. I mean, whether you're a murderer or really, you know, you've done something really bad or whatever, the dog doesn't see that. The dog's always your loyal companion. And very forgiving. So I sometimes think, well, maybe if there is a God and a forgiving God, then maybe it's not a mistake that dog is God spelt backwards, because they're very forgiving and almost blind creatures. And when I think of dogs, I think of the saying, like, blind faith. They certainly don't judge, and they don't see faults in anyone. So, or maybe it's really blind loyalty. But the question is, I've got it written down here somewhere for the day. It's going to be horribly shaky, this video, but there's nowhere to put the phone down. I'll show you a bit of scenery while I'm looking at the question. The question is, what do I look for in a friend? Do I have lots of friends, or just am I very guarded? I'm very, very guarded. I have a lot of acquaintances but very few friends. I've had very, very close friends in the past that have kind of let me down, but I do have a couple of really good friends that I'm always be there for, and have always been there for me. I'm a very, very loyal friend. I am a very dog-like friend. Once I've got a friend, they are for life. But whereas I have acquaintances, quite a lot of it takes me a while to call someone my friend. And I do have some friends I've met online. One of my closest friends in England, I actually originally met her online, and she is one of my closest female friends. She's very, very close to me. And I have a couple of another close friend in New Zealand that I met 3 years ago, and again, we've seen each other through a lot in the past 3 years. But yep, close, true friends I could probably count on one hand. What do I look for in a friend? Someone who's always there, someone who, if I went round to their house and woke them up at 3 o'clock in the morning, they'd have a bed for me, they wouldn't judge me, and they wouldn't ask questions, they'd just let me in and look after me. That's what I would do for my friends, and that's what I expect. People who listen, people who will always make the time for you, and just be there to hold your hand when you need it, and then share all the good things with too. That's what I need in a friend. Someone who makes me more of who I am, who I can really be me with, and do that real good belly laugh with that you can only do with someone who knows you as well as they do. My sister's like that really, when we get together. I'm lucky. Yeah, a friend is someone who listens long enough to really get to know you, and listens hard enough. And that's pretty special when you find someone like that. So that's my friend thing. Oh, and there's a bit about, I did find one of the meanings for a dog was a stalker, and I've had stalkers in the past, and that is not nice. That's a negative side of friendship, I guess. So yeah, so that's all I've got to say for now about the dog and the stalk, because I don't want to make this a rambly video. It might rain. And the next day is day 16, and we have the tower and the garden. And I've said many times before, I love towers. I've always had this thing about towers. There we have, there's the tower in the Indigo Pain Oracle. And then in the Natalie's Rose Yule Solstice, LenorMarch, whatever it's called. It's like a kind of Norman tower, or church tower. It's very square. I think Saxon towers were round and Norman were square. I may have that wrong. But this is the very common kind of tower that you would find in England and parts of France too. So, yeah, I like towers. Don't know why, born with that Rapunzel complex, always had long hair. I built a tower, I think I said I built a tower on my house in England. I loved it so much. Had a hair weather vane on the top because I love hairs too. And so to me the towers mean solitude, height, but not in a way of being above everything in a high and mighty way, but being connected to the earth and the sky, taking up a little space in earth and going upwards. Your footprint on earth is quite small and you kind of go upwards. The artist starving in their garret, looking out on the world. Lighthouses, I think towers need to be able to see the sea and mountains, and maybe some city lights in the far distance. And they're places where you wait. I see them as places where you wait. I have written a poem about the tower. I should have read that, but it's probably a bit dreary and miserable, so I probably won't. And there's a lot of fairy tales that feature towers, but mainly Rapunzel. So, and gardens, well, I do like gardens. I prefer winter gardens, and I like fairy gardens. This is the, I don't know why I turned that around. This is the garden in the Beth Salonen card. It kind of matches this cloth I've got here a little bit, with a little mushroom. I like woods and I like wild gardens. And this is the garden. There's a kind of Monet water lily type garden in the Natalie Rose Solstice card. That's a bit better now, the sun's gone behind the clouds. Yeah, gardens to me would mean, in LenorMarch they mean social things and family, I think. Yeah, they mean family, but I think they also mean, or to me they mean growth and sustenance and beauty, connecting to the earth. My favourite thing about gardens, apart from chilling out with family and friends, is the animal life and that it sustains. Like even small animals, like I have my pond. I have quite a good ecosystem going here with the pond and everything, and I've had bees in the past. I think bees belong in gardens, and vegetables, and there's nothing quite like going out and picking fresh vegetables. So to me gardens mean sustenance, and as well as all the family stuff. And the question for gardens and towers was, am I a hermit or am I a social butterfly? You know me well enough. If you've watched any of my videos, you know I'm very much a hermit, and I think I've been a hermit for many lifetimes. And on this plane I'm supposed to come out of that, but I haven't really managed it yet. I have spent a lot of my life as a hermit. And do I recharge my batteries by solitude or by being social? Being social, going out and doing something different recharges me. But then after, it depends, it's a balance. Once I've had too much of that, then being at home and in solitude and doing my own thing charges my batteries. And often if I'm in a crowd, which I am, that doesn't happen a lot to me, I need to get away on my own, sometimes for maybe 10-15 minutes, away from the people, just to I don't know, ground myself again. And I have lots of problems with energy, dealing with lots of different energies in a room. So I guess that's all part of it. I need to sort of cleanse myself or something. So yeah, I'm a hermit, and that is how I roll. And yeah, you can be charged by both. I think the absence thing, when you're away from one thing, you appreciate being with a crowd, makes you appreciate solitude. Being on your own makes you appreciate company now and again. And so that's days 15 and 16, and I'll just show you a bit more of the pond before I knock off. And see if we can see anything else interesting. Oh, there's Gypsy come to see you, look. Gypsy and Oscar, look at these two. There they are. Turned up right for the end of the video, didn't you, darling? Hey. Okay, here he is. Gypsy horns. I have to hold him up. There you go. Say hello, Gypsy. Beautiful boy. Look at those gorgeous eyes. Why don't people like goat eyes? I love them. Right. Should we say bye, Gyps? Bye-bye.